Whether or not you want to drink 3 to 5 of these is completely up to you. I think if anybody had 5 of these, they'd probably be 3 sheets to the wind. Well, hello there and welcome back to another episode of Cocktails with Ciara. My name is Ciara and I'm a whiskey-loving Irish gal who's on a cocktail voyage of discovery. If you are new here, I have zero professional bar experience other than a passion for making mixed drinks at home and showing you how I do it. So hit that subscribe button, stick around, and we both just might learn something, because if I can do it, you could do it. So in today's video, we are going to make an extremely popular absinthe cocktail that I have tried 1 or 2 times before, but I actually can't say that I've ever made it at home. So today we are going to be making a death in the afternoon. So yes, we're going to be making a death in the afternoon, which is of course the popular and probably one of the most recognizable absinthe cocktails, which was created by none other than Ernest Hemingway himself. So before we get into the history of a death in the afternoon and I show you how I make it at home for the first time, I would like to take a second to tell you about my Patreon. Not only is it a great way of supporting my channel, but you can also have access to exclusive content, you can get exclusive discounts on my newly launched merch, and you can also see the footage that is just too tipsy for YouTube. And so without rambling on too much, let's get into the history of a death in the afternoon. So yes, the famed novelist Ernest Hemingway was known just as much for his drinking as he was for his pieces of work, and he popularized cocktails like the daiquiri. He was also a big fan of the mojito, but he did actually create his own cocktail, which is of course a death in the afternoon. So the cocktail itself actually shares a name with one of Ernest Hemingway's works, Death in the Afternoon, which is about Spanish bullfighting, which he wrote in 1932. Hemingway spent quite a lot of time in France, particularly on the left bank with the Belle Epoque, which I've actually discussed before in my absinthe video. So if you want to hear a little bit more about absinthe's influence on artists and writers and theatre and all of that stuff at the time, because it's really, really interesting, go and watch that video. It will give you the sordid, controversial history of absinthe. But yes, Hemingway was, like many other creatives at the time, absolutely loving absinthe in France, and so it is no surprise that he decided to coin his own cocktail, which included 2 really opposing ingredients, champagne and absinthe, but surprisingly they work together very well. And that brings us on to the ingredients, and as I mentioned, this cocktail comprises of just 2 ingredients. You've got your champagne or Prosecco if you prefer, and absinthe. So for our absinthe, I'm going to stick with my Old Faithful, which I've used in many absinthe cocktails so far. It is Lafite Absinthe Superior. It's a gorgeous French absinthe. This is what I used in my original absinthe video. So again, if you would like to see that, go back and watch it. We do the loche, the absinthe drip, the whole works. It was great. But this is the absinthe we're going to use today. And then for our second ingredient, we are going to use some champagne or Prosecco. It's completely up to you how bougie you want to go, but because it is approximately 1 p.m. of a Wednesday, I'm probably going to stick with Prosecco because I actually have mini bottles for like single serving cocktails at hand. So now that we've looked at the history and the ingredients needed for this cocktail, let's go ahead and actually make a death in the afternoon. I have just grabbed my champagne flute from the freezer. Of course, a champagne flute is how you are going to serve this drink. And we're going to start by adding our absinthe. And I'm using a different jigger today because actually I have specific instructions from Hemingway himself. He actually did write down in a compilation cocktail book that was actually a group of novelists putting together their favorite recipes, and that's where he wrote down the recipe for this drink. So he actually has given me strict instructions. Pour 1 jigger of absinthe into a champagne glass. Add iced champagne until it attains the proper opalescent milkiness, and then drink 3 to 5 of these slowly. So whether or not you want to drink 3 to 5 of these is completely up to you, and maybe what you have on later that day. I think if anybody had 5 of these, they'd probably be 3 sheets to the wind. I'm going to try 1 and see how I like it. Also, a full jigger of absinthe is quite a lot. So let's go ahead and add in our delicious, beautiful absinthe. It is always, oh my God, the smell. It is always such a pleasure using this spirit in any cocktails. Oh my God, that's a lot. I feel like absinthe is such a delicious drink to work with. It's got so much like romance and mystery and a little bit of controversy attached to it, but ultimately it's a really, really great spirit and it works so well in cocktails. Like one of my absolute favorites, the Sazerac, includes a little bit of absinthe. So I just love it. And I'm always looking for new absinthe cocktails. So if you have any, let me know, because I'm always looking to try new ones. I'm just gonna give her a twist. Oh my God, what's going on here? I'm usually good at opening champagne bottles, but oh my God, this is a weird plastic cap. Oh, okay. Sorry, the noises that are coming out of me. Okay, right, our champagne has been kept in the fridge. It's nicely chilled. So we're gonna really slowly pour it in. Hopefully we'll achieve that beautiful opalescent milkiness that Hemingway talks about. Apparently it's something that happens, it's like an emulsion when absinthe hits water. Oh, beautiful. Oh wow, the color of this is so pretty. He was absolutely right about the milkiness. I feel like the bubbles are leaving quite quickly. I don't know what the absinthe is doing, but it definitely seems less effervescent, like the fizz is going. But I have to say, the other time that I've tried this drink was on the Try channel. So we did absinthe cocktails. I was trying with Martin. It was a great time. And I will link that video below if you want to see it. And then I can't remember the other time that I've had a death in the afternoon, which is probably a good sign that I can't remember it. So making it at home is something new, but wow, the milkiness is beautiful. It has this like opalescent greeny yellow hue. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's very pretty. I love a cocktail that you could just whip up in 2 seconds, you know? I think you need to have an arsenal of like quick cocktails when you're feeling like you just want to be low effort, but like maximum impact. Because I actually do think this is a cocktail that will have maximum impact. And speaking of, if you'll join me over on my cocktail drinking chair, let's try a death in the afternoon and see how she tastes. Okay, so we are back in the cocktail drinking chair. My death in the afternoon is here sitting pretty. It still has a fizz to it, but it's significantly less bubbly and effervescent than a usual glass of bubbles would be. So that's interesting how the absinthe plays in it. So before it loses all of its fizz, I'm gonna try it and let's see how she tastes. Cheers. Wow, oh my goodness, that has such an interesting sensation in your mouth. It's got that aniseedy licorice flavor that I love about absinthe, but combining it with the bubbles, it just makes it so different. I think this is quite a strong death in the afternoon. I think a full jigger, as per Hemingway's instructions, is probably more than you would get if you ordered this in, you know, some sort of establishment. Like I doubt they'd give you a full measure of absinthe. God, I'm losing the ability to speak already. I'm just gonna go in again. There are so many other absinthe cocktails where the absinthe is way more subtle. So for this one, the absinthe is like really there, which is a good thing. But like, I mean, 3 to 5 of these, you would be on the floor. That's a lot of absinthe. I can already feel that warm, tingly feeling in my mouth that absinthe leaves, which I do really enjoy, but like I wouldn't be drinking the stuff straight. I mean, I have before, especially on Try channel, but it's not something I would do regularly. Yeah, this is definitely a drink that you drink if you want to die in the afternoon. There's no other way to put it. I think it's very aptly named. All of this talk about how strong it is isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think it still tastes amazing. I do know I'm a fan of a strong drink, you know, so I think that maybe sometimes my taste isn't a good one to gauge if something is drinkable or not, but I certainly think that this can be enjoyed. But it really packs a punch. It actually reminds me of a French 75, which is champagne and gin, which is obviously named after the French artillery rifle. And this is very similar. It's really funny that it's in, well, both drinks are in such a dainty, elegant flute, but both of them pack a serious punch. So if you want to look fancy but get absolutely wasted, then I think a death in the afternoon would be perfect. Would I stick to Ernest's measurements? I would probably ease off on the absinthe a little bit, just, you know, if you want to not actually die in the afternoon, but it's a great drink, what can I say? I love it. It's 2 thumbs up for me. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make a death in the afternoon for the first time. And of course, if you have a different way of making it, if this is a cocktail that you enjoy of a weekend, which to be fair is kind of hardcore if it is, but if you enjoy this cocktail regularly and you make it differently, please do let me know. Maybe there are some variations that I can try. And as always, please do let me know what other cocktails you would like to see me make. Let me know in the comments. I love making the cocktails that you guys want to see. And actually there are some heavy hitters that I've made before that I need to go back and do some variations on. So if you would like me to revisit a cocktail, we can absolutely do that as well. If you liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more easy cocktails that you can make at home, I will leave a link to a playlist up here. And as always, if you have not yet subscribed, then please do. I post new cocktail videos every single week and I would love to have you back for more. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you on my next one. Cheers!